Number 3 is the idea of the chosen people. The Jews are hated because we arrogantly claim that we are chosen. Now, what about other cultures that believe that they are chosen? Are they hated in the same way? For most of Christian history, an idea called supersessionism has been the mainstream interpretation of the New Testament. That is a theory that believes that once Jews refused to accept Jesus, they were essentially superseded by the Christians, and therefore Christians became the new chosen people. As far as I know, Christians have never been persecuted en masse because they believe they are the new chosen people. Americans believe in the concept of manifest destiny, the idea that their actions were somehow divinely willed, that there was this divine calling for us to go west. As far as I know, as messed up or confusing as that theory may have been, I don't know that early American settlers were hated specifically for that reason. China sees herself, and it's actually contained in the name China, as Chengkao, I'm probably mispronouncing that, which means the middle kingdom or the center of the universe. Here you see a Chinese map with China smack in the center. As far as I know, Chinese have never been hated for considering themselves the middle of the universe, for considering themselves chosen. Rastas apparently believe that King Solomon had a baby with the Queen of Sheba, who fathered the monarch, the line of Rastafarian kings, and as a result of that, they are the chosen people. I've never once, first of all, I never heard of that idea until I saw it, but I also never heard of hatred towards Rastafarians specifically because they believe that they're chosen. And if we take a step back, what does it even mean when we say that we are the chosen people? And that is a Jewish concept. The idea of the Am HaNivchar, the chosen people. But what does that truly mean? It doesn't mean so much that we are chosen and that we feel like we are better as a result. We are the chosen people not because we are chosen. We are the chosen people because we chose. Nobody ever said it better than William Norman Ewer. He said, "How odd of God to choose the Jews. It's not so odd. The Jews chose God." We believe that our ancestors chose a relationship with God. And as a result of that, God gave us a mission. And as Jews, we have a unique mission in this world. We are, as Ken Spiro calls us, the God Squad. Our job is to be God's PR firm. We're not doing the best job right now. But our job is to be God's PR firm and to bring godliness into the world. And as a result of that mission, God said, your mission is too important and you're going to be here forever, whether you want to be or not. And as a result of that, we have sealed a covenant with the Almighty where we are going to be an eternal people. And despite all the things that have been thrown at us and the fact that we should not be here according to anyone's standards, we are. And that's part of that covenant. But it doesn't make us better. Anybody who wants to join that covenant, anybody who wants to join that mission is welcome on board. And with that said, we don't go out of our way to proselytize. We don't go looking for converts. You know why? Because we don't believe that anyone needs to be saved. We don't believe you need to be Jewish to be a good person. As far as I know, we're the only culture that has a calendar system that doesn't begin like the calendar that we use that begins from Jesus or from Muhammad or for any character in Jewish history. Our calendar system doesn't begin from Moses or from going into the land of Israel or from building the temple. Our calendar system begins with Adam. Adam wasn't a Jew. Because we don't believe it's only about the Jews. We don't believe that if you don't believe the things that we do, you're eternally damned. You're not. You can be a good, wonderful person, have a place in the world to come, and also not be Jewish. That's why we don't go out of our way to convert people. In fact, when somebody comes to convert, you look in Jewish law. Maimonides makes it very clear. The first thing we say to the person is, "Are you crazy? Did you not see part 1 and what we've already talked about in part 2? Do you really want this?" We try to dissuade them because we say, you don't need this. If you want it, and you want to join the mission, and you want to be part of the God Squad, and you want to be the people who choose that relationship with God, by all means, welcome aboard. The greatest contributions we've seen to Judaism have been as a result of Jews of choice. And if you choose to be part of it, you are welcome with open arms. But we don't go out of our way to convince people because they don't need it. So when you look at the idea of Jewish chosenness, it doesn't mean that we feel like we are better. It certainly should not be a reason for Jew hatred. More than that, if you go back to our paradigm of cause and effect, we would expect that if Jews abandoned that concept of Jewish chosenness, if we got rid of it and said, you know what, not part of our ideology, not part of our belief system, what should happen? We should be loved and accepted by everybody, if that was the reason. In the 1800s in Germany, where Jews were more German than German, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. I'm not going to even pretend to try and pronounce these words, but I'll tell you the translation translates to the Central Association of Germans of the Mosaic Confession. The Jews of Germany didn't consider themselves Jews. They were first and foremost Germans. They said there's nothing unique or special about us. We're Germans of the Mosaic persuasion. And yet, they were hated nonetheless. These were Jews that had no, if you would have asked them, do you believe that you're chosen? Do you believe that you're different? Do you believe you have a unique mission? Do you believe that your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents chose a relationship with God and therefore you have a calling to, they would say, absolutely not. We are Germans. We are just as German as everybody else. We are exactly the same. And yet, the hatred is still there. So if the cause disappears and the effect still lingers, that means that that is not truly the reason. It's just another excuse.